Hey, what's going on? Real quick, I just want to let you guys know that after the intro piece, there's going to be like slight audio, well, not slight, there's going to be audio issues for the remainder of the episode. It's not anything that's going to stop you from hearing, but something happened with the microphone recording and it just kind of like separated my whole voice from whatever. You'll still be able to hear it. The content is still there, but apologies for the information being switched up, but y'all know how I do these things. Is one take, it's flowing with the motion, so I can't record it. But with that being said, don't hold this against me. I have it all worked out and together for the next episode. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Just Sing podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about relationship niches or niche, however whatever bags your groceries, however you feel, to identify that term. But the reason why I want to talk about relationship niches is because, I keep seeing posts, I keep having conversations with people, off awkward shit. It'd be like, this person doesn't move the way I need them to move, or, both men and women too. And it's like, yo, you got to date people who like you. You feel me? You got to date people who like you. But the question is, how do you date people who like you? You got to know like what the niche is. You feel me? You got to know what the niche is. And, I'm 30. You feel me? I'll be 31 soon. And I'm looking at how the relationships are still like kind of childlike in a sense. It's off of, physical structures and basic foundational shit. Like you don't really have much to go for as far as, relationship shit. Like not in a fucked up way or fucked up explanation behind what I'm saying, but like as far as relationships, people aren't fitting the niche. Now, you have two sides to that though, because some people are not necessarily a part of the niche that they're trying to be involved in. You can get confused because you're dealing with motherfuckers that ain't even in the space and the capacity to be, you feel what I'm saying, doing what the fuck that they're supposed to be doing or doing what the people in the niche are doing. You feel what I'm saying? It's levels. It's literally levels to the shit. So that's when it comes into the perspective of, it's the idea versus the reality. I keep hearing that shit too. People like the idea of me, but they don't like the reality. Well, does your reality fit the idea? Is your reality the same as the idea? Is your reality a facade that is illusorily masked by the idea? And they're falling for the idea, but when you show your reality, it's like your reality doesn't coincide with this idea. Yeah, it sounds good to say that shit as the person from the inside. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people like the idea of me, but not the reality. But what about the accountability piece? Does your reality match the idea? And that's why they don't fuck with you too. You feel what I'm saying? These things both got to go hand in hand, and these things both got to be looked at in that regard. And I feel like what the bridge between the idea and the reality of a motherfucker is the niche. You feel me? It's the niche. It's do you even fit within that idea? Like, cause like when you sit within the niche of something, you know the inner workings of it. You feel me? You know the inner workings of it. And where does that put you as far as how you're really gonna view your relationship? You feel what I'm saying? How are you gonna involve yourself in relationships? Excuse me. So that's what I'm gonna be diving into today, relationship niches, because I feel like we need to have this conversation. We're adults. We should be able to have this conversation without getting our, shits fucked up and everything. So why not have it the motherfucker here? You feel what I'm saying? But before we get started, be sure to check out my website at iamjustsing.com. And although I'm doing this out of order, you still know the rules. Anyway, follow me on Instagram _just_sing_. Be sure to check out my website at iamjustsing.com to get all things that are just seen. To all who tip, sponsor, and donate to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the description of your podcast. Not just the link of the episode, but the podcast itself. Cash App and PayPal work just fine. So yeah, with that being said, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into relationship niches. Date people who like you. Oh yeah, and don't forget to visit iamjustsing.com. There, you can get all things Just Sing. You want to add the Soul series to your library? Visit IamJustSing.com. You want to learn how to master the market for serious trading and investing? Visit IamJustSing.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit IamJustSing.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit IamJustSing.com. You ever want to just chat with Sing about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit IamJustSing.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at IamJustSing.com. So just take a quick peek into my world and see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it. You will never see it unless you visit IamJustSing.com. All right. Welcome back. Without further ado, we're going to hop straight into this relationship niches, dating people who like you. All right, so whether you pronounce it niche, niche, it don't fucking matter. You know what I'm about to be talking about. Your niche is not necessarily your comfort zone, or I say your niche is where you feel in your niche is like your element. It's where you're able to feel most in your element, right? The issue with that is that people as woke motherfuckers. Some of us aren't woke, but I'm using this woke thing because everybody in the woke community and the conscious community and shit preaches, know thyself, know who you are, know the inner workings of yourself, know the history, know all of this. But the main thing is know yourself. Knowing yourself is very important no matter what phase of life you're in. You feel what I'm saying? And that helps you be in the niche because there's two sides to this shit. You have people, and this is what I was talking about with the idea and the reality. You have those people who are in the niche because they're supposed to be in the niche. And you have people that are in the niche because they're trying to find themselves. And they think that they can find themselves in this niche. That's when the idea and the reality blurs, the lines blur. But in addition to that, that's when it becomes the personal thing. You feel what I'm saying? So like when I was saying, like people always say, yo, they like the idea of me, but not the reality. Because your reality isn't really in this niche. You're still trying to explore this niche to see if this is a niche you need to stay in. You feel what I'm saying? Not as opposed to, I'm in this niche because I'm in this niche. Because I know I'm supposed to be here. You feel what I'm saying? It's a fine line. It's a fine line in between those 2 points. You feel what I'm saying? Like over the last couple of years, I've had conversations, I've had, relationships with women in the niche thought process. Like it's like we come together and shit. And then it was some beautiful shit. Like as we, separated or, came to terms with the reality. I remember one woman, she told me, specific, she was like, you know what? I think maybe you were just supposed to be the one to introduce me to the shit. Like, because the position that I was in already within that niche, it was already, you feel me? I was woke, you feel me? Quote unquote. You know what I'm saying? But that showed me in that moment that it was like, yeah, some people are in the niche because that's who they are. And some people are in the niche because they're learning or finding who they are. You feel what I'm saying? They're finding themselves. They're finding where they're supposed to be. So the idea is there, but the reality doesn't necessarily match. You feel me? So that's what I'm saying. It goes back. It goes off of both sides of that. Like, yeah, I can say all day long, people like the idea of me, but they don't like the reality. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like, are you living the reality of the idea? You feel me? Because motherfuckers gonna hold you to that. You dig what I'm saying? Like the people that are actually in the niche, they're gonna hold you to that, and you're gonna have a standard that you gotta follow. You feel what I'm saying? So you have to understand your niche. Now your niche can be anything. It could be the religious niche. It could be it could be any niche that you want. I only chuckled at that because like with the religious niche, that is all idea and not much reality. Because there's so many motherfuckers. The idea is to be this upstanding person. Everybody keeps coming back to, well, he ain't finished with me yet. Well, I'm still a work in progress. Well, I can condemn everybody else, but I don't have to look in on my inside. So it's like that niche is that niche. I used to be a part of that niche at one point in time. So you feel what I'm saying? I know that relationship type niche. You feel what I'm saying? Be presented on the outside like it's all good, like the reality is good. You feel me? But on the inside, we all fucked up. You feel what I'm saying? And then you also have the niche of quote unquote spirituality where they just made that their own religion and shit, and they follow and they believe in a lot of shit rather than understanding shit and applying the actual spiritual techniques, you know what I'm saying, to be better people. So you got to know your niche, and you got to know what niche you're in. And that's like my biggest thing is like, I started saying this in 2016. Like I say, you know what? When I find my woman, this is what it has to be. This is the standard for me. Like mind, like soul, like body. Not the same, but like. You feel what I'm saying? Because I've learned that like in the first phases of my life and shit, everything was opposites attract. You feel me? It was always opposites attract. And I've started to learn that, like, yo, even from a basic chemistry perspective, but just in reality, I was like, with these opposites attracting, these motherfuckers are neutralizing me, bro. Like, we are becoming neutralized. Like, because it's like when opposites attract, what do? Yeah, we could look at it from a magnetic perspective, North Pole, South Pole, but let's look at it from a chemistry perspective. If an acid meets with a base, it becomes neutralized. You know what neutralized means? You feel me? Zero the fuck out. You feel me? And military talk is dead. You neutralize the motherfucker. Like, you kill the motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like that beginning phase of my life, like, yo, let me get the opposite. But I had to start to look at life like this. How can I really say I love myself if I'm seeking the opposite of me? You dig what I'm saying? Like, really, really, really sit and think about that. Like, how can I truly say that I love myself if I'm seeking the opposite version of me? You feel me? And I've had a conversation with somebody, and we were talking about like mind, like soul, like body. And they was like, I couldn't be with somebody who's just like me. And in that moment, it sparked. I was like, so that means you don't know how to be alone. You don't know how to be with yourself. If you can't be with another motherfucker who's like you, you've already shown me you don't know how to be with yourself. You feel what I'm saying? And it gets crazy because it's like people don't pay attention to the things that they utter, the words that they speak. And they hold on to that and don't even realize that they're holding on to it. So like I was saying, she was saying that she couldn't be with somebody who's just like her. She said that would be boring. And look, we got into a heated argument. I eventually was able to bring it back. You feel me? Because I don't like arguing. I like to dissipate energy. So I was like, damn, you must be a boring motherfucker then. Damn, that was rude. How is it rude? You just told me that you preferred the opposite of you. You said to date somebody, if you were to date somebody like you, that would be boring for you. So I'm telling you, I'm asking, are you a boring motherfucker? Like, when I asked, I kind of did state it. That was my fault. Like, yo, you must be a boring motherfucker then. Like, if you tell me that dating somebody like you would be boring, I don't feel that way. If a motherfucker is like me and we date, we gonna have fun. We gonna have fun because I have fun by myself. So if you just like me, you're not my opposite. You feel what I'm saying? You're just like me. We gonna have a motherfucking ball when we link up. You feel me? But I've noticed that like when people have that notion of opposites attracting, you feel what I'm saying? It neutralizes them and their relationship growth. You feel me? Because they can't that sole principle. See, it shows you how to seek outside of yourself for the validation, for one, and for two, you don't even take the time to get to know you. And then what aspects of you that you do know you think are boring? The fuck kind of shit is that? You feel what I'm saying? We're gonna stagnate. If opposites attract, we're gonna stagnate. We're gonna neutralize each other. You feel what I'm saying? So now keep this in mind. Like, if you're going into relationships with this preconceived notion that I want somebody who's like this, and a lot of times we get into situations where we want somebody who's the total opposite of us. You feel what I'm saying? Total opposite of us. You know, but it's because we don't like the personal perspective of who we are. We haven't made peace with that. We haven't fell in love with who we are. And it's in falling in love with who you are that you're like, I don't want the opposite version of me. You feel me? Like the position that I reached of the self-love is like, if there was a motherfucker who was the opposite of me, we're gonna have a problem. Like, if you're literally the opposite of me at this point, we're not attractive. We're gonna reject each other because you're gonna be problematic to me. You feel me? Because I'm saying I like having fun. That would mean that you're boring. You feel me? I like talking and conversing about deep shit. That means that you're not gonna want to do that shit. You feel what I'm saying? People don't even look at the basic aspect of what it means for opposites to attract. It's motherfuckers that be like, I want somebody with a good conversation, but I don't have a good conversation. Why the fuck would somebody want to talk to your ass then? You feel me? Like, you feel me? Oh, I'm shy. I'm shy. I don't like talking. I gotta warm up and shit. I don't. I'm a free talker. The fuck? Hell, I got a podcast. You feel what I'm saying? I'm a free talker. I like to talk about simple. I like not simple shit. I like to talk about things that have substance, things that have merit. That's one of my things. Small talk don't do shit for me. It don't do shit for me, but piss me the fuck off. If you come with small talk, you gonna get small talk. And then that's it. Like I don't know. I like deep conversations. Not and they don't not necessarily have to be deep as we talking about because the Earth's core to the crust and the metals and shit like that. But nah, let's have some depth in what the fuck we're talking about. You feel what I'm saying? But bringing it back, that's my niche. That's one of the aspects of being in my niche. Now, here's where it can come off because idea and reality type shit. I do this shit. When I want to have a deep conversation and when I have an in-depth conversation, I can have it because I'm probably well read on some of the shit that I'm gonna be talking about or knowledgeable about the situation. Now, I'm not saying I can go down a full rabbit hole, but the gamut of shit is really deep. So it's like the idea is, I've been involved with women who are, it started off, oh, I like deep conversations and all of this shit like that. Cool. Give it about a week, 2 weeks, and shit. Everything doesn't have to be that deep. Because I reached, you know what I'm saying? I reached the bottom of your pool. Oh, so you just want to be deep. You want the conversation to be as deep as you can go, not as deep as I can go. That's when the idea and the reality blur. You feel what I'm saying? Because people are wanting to be in a niche and come into it as opposed to dealing with the people who are in the niche and vice versa. Because a lot of times it comes from the position that you're doing it because you necessarily don't want somebody to outdo you or be greater than you. That is another part of this niche shit, like your relationship niche. Is like in these conversations, like, am I gonna be the alpha part? Am I gonna be the Don Dada? Am I gonna be the motherfucker who's looked up to? You feel what I'm saying? And the lines can easily get blurred when it comes to niches because quote unquote men lead, women follow. Right? It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Because of this simple notion, women will not elevate themselves as high as they possibly can be. And men don't have to elevate themselves as high as they can possibly be because they're gonna be like, I'm gonna get someone who can follow, not necessarily be led. This is a very, very, very important topic right here. You feel me? Women keep talking this bullshit about I need a man who can lead, but a lot of women don't know how to be led. They know how to follow, but they don't know how to be led. You feel what I'm saying? I was just talking about this on my Instagram. Like a lot of women don't know how to be led. They know how to follow, but they don't know how to be led. And here's what it means to be led. Because a leader brings the best out of you. You have to have the best in you for it to be brought out, but you guys have to be going along the same path. You have to be in the same motherfucking niche. You feel me? But see, a lot of people they're trying to get into the idea, but they don't have the reality or the capacity for it. You feel me? Like when I started my entrepreneur journey, like 2016 and shit, right? Well, it's 2015, but 2016, snowball started moving and shit, right? So at that moment, I would be meeting women who were trying to get there, and it's like the idea is there, but the reality wasn't there. They couldn't push through the wall. They couldn't go through the next step. It's like, why? Why? I had to realize they're not in the niche. They're in the niche, exploring the niche to figure out if they're supposed to be there or not. I'm in the niche because it's mine. It's like I fit in this motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? How many of us are in niches right now that one, we have to look at it like this. This is really my niche. Or I'm still looking to see if this is my niche. Because you have to be honest with yourself in that regard. You feel me? You have to be honest with yourself in that regard because if you're not, what's going to happen is you're going to get tangled up and you're going to get chewed up and spit out. Because you're not built for the shit that you're trying to be involved with. You dig what I'm saying? It's not your niche. It's just not your niche. And that comes into different pockets of things because now we got to expand it. How is your niche really deep or is it shallow? And I like marketing. And I kind of got this metaphor, this whole thing from marketing because it helped me really understand it. You have a niche. How deep does your niche run? Are you a general niche? Or do you have depth to the actual niche that you want? Because your relationship has to be built the same way. You feel what I'm saying? If I'm trying to get my book So Frail, A Reality to Black Masculinity, in front of the people that I know I want to read it, I have to dig down deep into that actual niche and find the people that look for this. You feel what I'm saying? But see, the issue is that when we're dating and shit, when we're looking for relationships and we're trying to get our niches popping and shit, it's simple. How deep is your niche? Is your niche as simple as, oh, he's tall, he got a beard? Is your niche as simple as, yo, she got a fat ass and she got a nice curve, she wear a waist trainer? That's as simple as your niche is? Oh yeah, you're gonna meet a lot of motherfuckers who are gonna be the idea, not the reality. But when the more simplistic your niche is, I'm not saying go be complicated and be stuck, but nah, you gotta fine tune what the fuck you really want. Because there's niches for it. There's people like that. And you have to be able to be comfortable. I don't know why I said be able so many times, be able so many times. But you have to be comfortable sitting in that niche. You can't just be, I think I like this niche. This looks like my shit. No, this has to be your shit before you start exploring it. Before you start exploring motherfuckers that are in it. Because the motherfuckers that do the shit, the motherfuckers that are actually involved in this niche, that are actually putting in the work to stay here and make this niche a niche, they're gonna hold you to your shit. And then you're looking crazy. Like, you know, it doesn't really correlate, but I was having a conversation with a woman one time. We were talking about puzzles. You feel me? We were talking about puzzles. And this correlates with niche shit, right? And we were talking about not necessarily puzzles, but this is a metaphor. We were talking about relationships. And I was, letting her know, like, when it comes to my relationships, as far as, the business minded ones and all of that shit like that, it's like, not only that, it's like any relationship that I feel is going to be successful, I need proof that you can be in a relationship with me. You feel me? Like, I need proof that you can be in a relationship with me. And we were talking about, like, I guess, entrepreneurship and, business minded and different tasks and different, things that entrepreneurs do. So the conversation went like this. I was saying, yeah, like she has to have a puzzle. She has to be like, she has to show me that she could do a puzzle. And, the conversation was, well, as long as she's doing the puzzles, I said, cool, but I need to see her complete a puzzle. You feel me? I need to see her complete a puzzle to know that, what I'm saying, she can do puzzles. I don't care if you're doing the puzzle. That's one thing, because you can stop. It can take you forever to do a puzzle. How long have you been working on this puzzle? Like, it's different dynamics to it, shit. So she asked, well, she can probably say the same thing about you. Like, she doesn't know if you're, I was like, but I have puzzles up. That's my thing. If I already have puzzles up, I need to see your puzzles too. You feel me? But then we flipped it. It flipped because I had another conversation with a woman, same similar thing. And she was like, but you also got to consider that the puzzle she could be working on might be better than your puzzle. I don't deny that. Hell, I'm looking for shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? But at the same time, I have to keep in mind that, is the puzzle getting done? Is the puzzle completed? Because that's where the niche is, completion. My niche isn't just doing projects. It isn't just the idea of being an entrepreneur and just doing, like, no, I finish my shit and then I put it out into the world and I do what I need to do to keep it going. Like, that's my niche. You feel what I'm saying? And it's not as simple as the idea of, I want to be able to do this. Show me the proof that you can. You feel what I'm saying? That's the position I'm in. You have to show me the proof that you can do it. I'm not wrong for that. This is why I say my relationships shifted to being like mind, like soul, like body. You feel me? Because last thing I want to do is be in opposition with a motherfucker I'm supposed to be loving. That's stupid as fuck to me. You feel me? I did it before. I've done it before, and it was stupid as hell. Like, I had a girlfriend, and I like laughing, as you can tell. I like jokes. I like good humorous shit. I like comedy shows. You know, she was like, I don't like going to comedy shows. I got mad when I went with my friend, who happened to be a woman, but you feel me? Now, the woman that I went with, let me go ahead and clarify this shit, because I don't want it to come off wrong. The woman that I went to the comedy show with was her best friend. Okay, so this particular woman that I went to the show with introduced us and hooked us up. So I'm like, yo, I want to go to this comedy show. She's like, all right, cool, me too. I'm like, that's your friend. So I'm gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, cool. I felt like that was safe. This is your friend. She was your friend before I even knew either one of y'all. You dig what I'm saying? So, I would go to the comedy show. But then it was like, what put it in perspective is like, I don't like, I like comedy shows and you don't. The shit that I like, you hate. But I'm on some opposites attract shit. That brings the balance. It's like interlocking fingers. Fuck that. After that shit, I realized no. Opposites neutralize each other because that's exactly what we did with each other. You feel me? And a disdain happened. I ended up hating a lot of shit that I once loved. You feel what I'm saying? Because we neutralized. You feel me? Opposites attracted. That's why I'm on some like mind, like body, like soul shit. I'm like, yo, if you tell me that the things that I naturally do, the things that I do on a regular basis, you don't like, fuck it. There's no point in continuing the shit. There's no point in trying to play the game and act like it's, because a lot of people get into the idea, oh, you're the type of man that can do this. Like, this part right here has to really be addressed. And when it comes to niches and finding relationships, one thing y'all really got to stop doing is trying to have a relationship with a single version of a motherfucker. All right? Having a relationship with a single version of a motherfucker. The single version and a relationship version of somebody are two totally different things. You only see the relationship version of somebody in a relationship. Most people don't display their relationship version while they're single. You just don't. Now, the illusion comes in when motherfuckers say, I want a relationship with the single version of you. You feel me? In my niche, that's one of the biggest issues that I face. I can admit that because my single version is 100% on display all the time. My relationship version is totally different. And I know I can tell what the situation is going to be with a woman by how she tries to attract to me, how she tries to come on. She comes on to the single version of me. I'm flirty, I'm fun, I'm all of these different things. I'm exciting than a motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It'd be women that it's like, how y'all got boyfriends and shit, and y'all in my DMs, and y'all got husbands and all of this shit? Because I give them the single version. When they got married, when they got in that relationship, they got in that relationship long term for the single version of a motherfucker. And now that single version died. It died a long time ago because I'm no longer single. You feel what I'm saying? So now they get the excitement from me. Oh my gosh, you're so funny. You're so this. All the shit a single motherfucker's supposed to be. You feel what I'm saying? Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because the relationship version is totally different. The single version of myself, I'm going to put it on a grand scale, but the single version of myself is fun. He's carefree. But when you are in a relationship with me, you're not fucking my shit up. You're not. I worked too hard for this shit. You're not fucking my shit up. So I got standards. I got goals. I got morals. I got boundaries. I got shit you can't fuck up over here. And you won't fuck up. And it's like, it starts off, oh my gosh, you're so carefree and you're so this and you got all this excitement. But it's different when you're in a relationship with me. Oh, you did a 180. I didn't do a 180. I'm showing you the relationship version of me. And you want to be in my space. So now when you come into my space and you talk about, oh, I want to have this done. Okay, cool. You got to do it like this. Wait, no, that's no. You can't say you want to be led by a motherfucker and then get mad at the way he sees to lead you. You feel what I'm saying? It's not about control, because I don't want it to come off like that. It's not about misogyny or anything like that. The point that I'm making is that the relationship version of me has demands. You feel me? And pussy ain't enough. You feel what I'm saying? So now when we put that on a grander scale, let's look at it like that I use that as an example to break the ice in this situation, because so many people are trying to have relationships with single versions of motherfuckers. Brothers, you out in this motherfucker, you feel me? Yo, I pulled a bad chick in the club and shit, and you got the single version. Now I want her to stay in the house. Conform to the relationship version that I want. No. You can't get with the single version of a motherfucker. That's just gonna make you miserable. You feel me? I use myself as another example in this shit. Women think I'm really a hoe, bruh. Of course, it doesn't help that in my podcast and shit like that, I tell my whole stories and shit. I'm born again or whatever. But social media and shit, how you feel? I'm single. I do single shit. You feel me? Now, there are those women who try to approach that from understanding my single version, and now you're trying to control it. You feel me? No, I'll turn it off. I turn it off when we get to that point, but we're not there. You feel me? We're not there. And it's like, until we have decided this is where we're going, is my opinion, we're friends communicating. I didn't know you shot your shot. I didn't know. I don't know that you on this type time. You feel what I'm saying? And then even still, I know when you're trying to connect with you're trying. Not only are you trying to connect with the single version of it, you're trying to control them. I like that energy that you have. I want that. You can't. I can't be bound. I can't be bound. And single motherfuckers can't be bound. You feel me? That's where the disconnect is coming in. We find our niches if we find it. Then we have the idea versus the reality. Shit, you want the idea versus reality, and then we get into the point where we're looking at single motherfuckers and trying to have relationships with a single motherfucker. Take a moment to really sit with that with yourself and think about that. We be like, oh, I just can't get it right because you're trying to have a relationship with the single version of a motherfucker. That's the appealing version. You feel me? And we wonder why it's like, yo, how come people are hollering at married men and women and shit like that? Because it's like shit changes. You like somebody in a relationship because you can see how their relationship works. You feel me? The single version of me, when I was in undergrad, the single version of me attracted one type of woman. But when I actually got with the woman and said, okay, this is my girl, I was claiming her, showing, my pussy rate went through the roof. It was different. And I don't mean, I'm not trying to be the asshole or nothing like that, but I'm putting it in perspective because the women that were coming on to me weren't the same single women. It was women looking for longevity. It was women looking for this shit. And they became attracted to the relationship version of me. The way that I was curving them, stopping them, saying, nah, I got a girl. Or, you know what I'm saying? The energy that I was putting off, relationship energy exuding, is different than single energy exuding. You feel what I'm saying? And you will never see the relationship energy of a motherfucker unless they in a relationship. Now, this is not to say in any way, shape, or form be out here fucking up happy homes. All right? It's not to say that shit. Okay? But at the same time, it's saying that you need to be able to see the relationship version of a motherfucker. Some people ain't built for relationships. You done married a motherfucker because you fell in love with a single version. You get me? You this. My single version does that to you. My single version is free, carefree, and able to rule the world, fearless, bold, and everything. My relationship version is different. This is why motherfuckers, I be seeing these posts and shit, motherfuckers be like, yo, it be married men in the DMs. It be married women in the DMs too because they miserable. You know why they miserable? Because now they want that single shit again. They single shit that they bound to. You feel me? Oh, I'm married for better or worse, for richer or poor. But we don't acknowledge that I need to marry for a relationship, not the single version of a motherfucker. I cannot maintain that single version energy for 3 fucking years. You feel what I'm saying? People like, after you get her, you gotta still treat her like you caught her. For fucking what? That was the single version of me. Let's keep it a bean. Let's keep it a whole hundred with that shit. We be like, well, after, and women say this shit too. They be like, yo, you gotta do the things that you had to do to get her. I was single then. I don't need that energy anymore. I don't have that single energy. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying in a relationship I'm a boring motherfucker. I become a boring motherfucker. I still know how to have the excitement and have that relationship side, but I don't have to do the single shit anymore. I don't carry single energy. It's two different dynamics. You feel me? If you're trying to be in a relationship with the single version of me, it's not going to work for you. I'm telling you, it's not going to work for you because what happens is when you're trying to have a relationship with the single version of a motherfucker, it becomes control. And now you have to monitor everything around them. You don't even trust that they can curve the motherfuckers that because it's the single version of them. You feel me? I know a woman who she went back to, before we actually crossed the line and decided we're talking and we're like, you know what I'm saying? She was like, I know you fucking this chick and fucking that chick. And I'm like, nah, I don't really know. And it was social media. I was like, I really don't know them. Yes, you do. Y'all. No, I'm dead ass. I can interact with you on social media right now. So I have an audience. I can interact with you. I don't know shit about you. I don't know a fucking thing about you. Like, yeah, I know you had to fuck her. Okay, whatever. And then it got to the point where she was always monitoring everything that I was doing because she's trying to have a relationship with the single version of me. Now, in her mind, her relationship version is on display, whatever the case may be. So I want to ask her, what about you liking these other dudes? Oh, that's different. I'm not fucking with them. I'm not this and that. And I'm telling you the same shit, but you can't believe me. You know why? Because you want a relationship with the single version of me, as opposed to seeing the relationship version of me. And that's what be fucking motherfuckers up. That's what be fucking motherfuckers up, because they don't know the niche. They get into a niche that they're not a part of, for one. For two, they follow the idea and don't even know how to exhibit the reality. Then they're falling for a motherfucker, right? Who they want to have the single version of forever. The single version of a motherfucker is fun. You feel what I'm saying? The single version is fun. You feel me? Now, when somebody knows how to maneuver between the two, single version and relationship version, is hard. Right now, I'm in a position because I'm 30. The women that I'm coming across right now, they're set for relationship version. You feel me? So it'd be like they see me one way, and then it's like, but in between, like, I know how to address you. I know that me addressing you as the single version of myself, it ain't gonna fly with you. I really want you, but I know how to approach that. And it's like, oh, you're not. I don't see the jokes. I don't see the funny shit. I don't see the same. You see it. You just see it from a perspective of coming from a relationship's energy. If it's coming from, yeah, I'll call you the big heads. I do the flirting things and shit like that. I do all of that shit as the single version in the beginning. But like once it gets to that point, yeah, now I'm, asking you, did you eat? You feel what I'm saying? I'm asking you, where's your mind at? Where's your mental space at? And like, it's not me trying to overindulge and go over it. But see, when you have gotten attracted to the single version of a motherfucker, their relationship version, you're not gonna be able to see. It's gonna be hard to get attracted to that shit because what you've fallen in love with or what you've fallen for has been on display. You feel what I'm saying? Let's keep it a hundo with that. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm seeing this because it's like I've been single for like damn near damn near 5, 6 years or some shit like that. Like not really, heavily involved in shit. Probably longer than that. But no, it was longer than that because like 2000, damn near 11, damn near 9 years. So I've been single for 9 years. Single, as in not having a relationship, but in between, I did single shit. I was a single motherfucker. Relationships never moved any farther because of like women were trying to have the relationship with the single version of me. Now, there are women who respected the single version of me and wanted to be single, another single motherfucker fucking with that. This is why we had the flings and the fucking and all of the other shit. That was what it was. Because it was two single motherfuckers coming together. Now you have two motherfuckers that's one person. I want a relationship. I want this. We need to do this. We need to do that. I'm single. And you want the single version of me. Because you want the excitement to stay. You want this. It's a whole different level of, I'm like this. This is how I look at it. The single version of a motherfucker will give you attention. The relationship version of a motherfucker is going to give you respect. Most motherfuckers don't even know they don't want respect because they want attention so motherfucking much. You feel me? And the relationship version of a motherfucker is different than the single version of a motherfucker. You feel me? So you got to ask yourself when you're dealing with your relationships and you seeing what's compatible and what's not compatible, are you in a position are you fucking with the right niche first? That's the first point. Are you fucking with the right niche? Excuse me. In fucking with the right niche, are you a part of the niche or are you trying to find yourself in the niche? Then within the people that you're looking for, are you trying to tie down a single version? You feel me? Because you got to ask yourself, how did a motherfucker cheat on you? I knew you wasn't shit. I knew you was this. Because you knew you was falling for the single version. Why would you try to have a relationship with that shit? You don't even trust your own fucking intuition. You feel what I'm saying? Like, set that shit up. Do you want the relationship with the single version? Ask yourself that shit. You can't ask them because they're gonna look at it like, oh, I don't know if I have a single version. I don't know. Like, they think it's just one person. No, you turn switches on and off depending on the environment that you're in. You feel me? I'm gonna use this example because it's motherfucking perfect. People condemn, chastise, and make all kind of memes about Future for being an asshole, a fuck boy, the king of the fuck boys, whatever the case may be. But they don't acknowledge that all of these women keep trying to lock down the single version of this man. The single version has multiple babies. The single version does not commit. Future does nothing wrong but be his motherfucking self. And these women get into, I'm going to have, my relationship version is going to fuck with his single version. I want to be in a relationship with a single version. And then you get mad when you get single versioned. Now Future's the bad guy. Now this Russell Wilson. He had the relationship version on display. He had that on display, and she saw that. You feel what I'm saying? Future had a single version on display, and she saw that. Two different dynamics, two different outcomes. You feel me? Everybody talk about what's Sierra's prayer for getting Russell. You know what her prayer was? She got common sense, and she realized, I do not want to attract or be in a relationship with a single version of a motherfucker. I need to be in a relationship with a relationship version of a motherfucker. And she found somebody who had their relationship version showing. Boom! Prayer works, goddamn. All right. Look. The markets are not a difficult place to understand. All right. You just have to know what you're looking at. And there's 5 things that you need to see before you can make any market entry. First, you need a pocket so you can know which direction the market is going in. Second, you need a pullback so you can get the better price. Third, you need a battlefield so you can see when that market movement is slowing down. Fourth, you need the upper hand so you can see when the market reactivates. And last, you need a final push so you can see the exact moment when it's time to go with the direction you are already moving in. Okay? Of course, there's so much more that has to go into that, and it's not as cut and dry as that. But those are things that I teach in my Mastering the Market course. So if you would like to learn more, please visit IamJustSing.com and check out the Mastering the Market course today. Although it is directed and specialized for Forex, all of the skills, I crafted them to be transferable to any market that you're looking at. So again, visit IamJustSing.com and check out the Mastering the Market course today if you are truly looking to master the market. I know, right? I dropped a bomb on that bitch right there. That shit hit, bro. Yeah, you can sit with that. But real shit though. When we're looking at it from that full dynamic and that full perspective, we have to really consider and really not lose sight of what the importance of a niche is. You feel what I'm saying? Because you gotta date people who like you. You feel me? You gotta date people who like you. In addition to dating people who like you, you gotta like the motherfuckers for what they are. You feel what I'm saying? I know people right now that are in my age pool and everything. It sucks. I hate that it had to happen, but they're getting divorced. You know, it's like, why? Like, this is why, like, shit like this, we need conversations like this in the hood. And by hood, I mean home. You feel me? Like, you know, in our inner circles and shit within our people. We need conversations like this because peep how this shit plays out. You in your 20s and they're telling you just to find somebody to settle down with. They're not even telling you. Like, in our 20s, all of us are single versions of shit. You know how many motherfuckers got married in their 20s? If you got married in your 20s, I'm not knocking it. I'm not, you know, that's not, because I almost got married in my 20s. You feel what I'm saying? But we're in our 30s now, and a lot of those relationships are done. Kids are involved and all this shit. But think about how they could have been avoided if we would have been taught, if we would have been known, we would have been knowing of and knowledgeable of ahead of time what it means to be attracted to the single version of a motherfucker versus a relationship version of a motherfucker. And not the idea of what a person could be in a relationship. You feel what I'm saying? But the actual reality that they exhibit. You feel what I'm saying? Women keep, you know, I shouldn't have to chase you. I shouldn't have to do this, that, and the third. You're supposed to love me. You're supposed to this, and keep doing that shit. You felt, and you had a relationship with a single version of a motherfucker. Why did you cheat on me? What did she have that none of that shit matters. You fell for the single version of a motherfucker. You try to lock down. That's why it's so much friction. That's the opposite you attracted to. Oh, I want a relationship. I want lifelong dreams. I want kids. I want family. I want this, all of that. And then you have to get with a motherfucker who's in line with that. You feel me? And how do you know if a motherfucker's in line with that? It's not just they talk about it with you. We talk like, no, this motherfucker's actually doing the active necessary things to make sure they're gonna be good for their babies. Make sure they can put their babies in a solid position to give them something. You dig what I'm saying? We're not looking at that shit. You feel me? We're not looking at that shit. And so, like I said, we're looking at it too from the perspective of niches and shit. And then it's like within the niche, you gotta find what? Your love language. This shit is deep. You know what I'm saying? Because like before I do the love language thing, let me talk about types and attractions. I got a whole podcast episode on that, so I don't want to talk too heavy about that. But a lot of motherfuckers have a type that they're not attracted to anymore, and they're still chasing it. Why can't I get it right? Cause motherfucker, you're not even attracted to your type, but you didn't change your type. And what you're attracted to, you have not made your type. You feel me? This is why motherfuckers be in some fucked up conundrums and shit. You feel me? Like, I like mine a little spiritual and hood. Okay, cool. What does that mean? What does that look like? You feel what I'm saying? I get this shit all the time. Ooh, you got a nice even balance between hood shit and da 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 da. I do, because I grew up to it and I embrace the shit. But at the same time, I don't do hood shit no more. You feel me? I don't do the dumb shit that I was doing when I was in the hood. Like that shit don't like I'm not blowing money. Like that shit. I dealt with a woman who was telling me, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? They rented a car, like her and her homegirls went to they went on vacation or something. They rented a car and shit. You know, it was a big body Benz, big body Tahoe or some shit like that, all blacked out. She said, that's real boss shit. That's not boss shit, renting a fucking black on black car. That's not boss shit. Like, she wanted me to be on some, yeah, we gonna rock and we gonna get one of them and stun on these. No, fuck that. Fuck, that's a liability. You don't fuck about no black on black car. The fuck? I said, let's flip it. Let's get that black and I'm like, my thing is get the black and black car. You feel me? You know, go rent it out as somebody to use for lift share and have them pay for the shit and then get like that's boss shit. That's boss shit. And I was like, okay, you want the reality, you want the idea of the boss shit. You don't know how to be a boss. You don't want to be a boss like for real, for real. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like in that regard, she wanted to shift over into that, but some things can't be done. Like you're not attracted to that shit anymore. You feel what I'm saying? And I had to realize that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I still want me a hood chick that, you know, she woke. You know what I'm saying? No, I can't do that shit no more. I can't do that shit no more. Because it's like a lot of them, when they come in there, like they're in the niche, but it's the idea, that reality is hard. You feel me? Some of them can't let go of the shit that they do. I can't, I'm not mad at it. Stay there. You can do that shit. I just don't fuck with it no more. You feel me? I don't fuck with that shit no more. I don't want to go nowhere where I have to continue to watch over my shoulder. I don't like living like that anymore. You feel me? Do I know how to get with the shits and if I need to? Yeah, of course. I can get with the shits. The fuck? Ray Ray can still hold the motherfucker sideways. But anyway, Ray Ray ain't supposed to be holding the motherfucker sideways. You gotta hold it straight. It's different. It's levels of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was just a quick glimpse, quick metaphor into what I'm talking about. Like your type and your attraction have to be aligned. But you have to be attracted to your type. And you have to make your type an attraction. I mean, however it flows. Rock with me. I'm flowing with you. You feel what I'm saying? Some people, when they evolve, they elevate or whatever the case may be, they don't realize that their type is still the same. So they try to bring their type into the niche and it don't work. It don't work. You're gonna have to say, okay, I'm attracted to this type, so I gotta stay there. Like these quote unquote brujas and shit, brujas, brujos, whatever, all these motherfuckers on the spiritual magical shit, they're not really doing that shit. It's not many people like it sound good for the gram. It sound good for this shit, like, you know, ooh, they want to astral project, they want to do this shit. It's like I wanna meditate, I wanna do this. Sound good for the gram to act like you doing it and shit. I got a follower, a traveler, who posts all kind of shit. And it's just like, I know you ain't doing that shit. Like chill out. Like, come on, chill out. But it sound good. It sound good. So then it's like when you cross that line, it's like, okay, you like the reality. You dig what I'm saying? I dealt with a woman who was telling me about, you know, the plant-based lifestyle and shit. And she was trying it, and then it's like she relapsed. She went back or whatever the case may be. She was like, it's hard. It just ain't for everybody. Everybody can't do that. Okay, cool. Why did you try it? You were sitting there. You were so busy trying to be wrapped up in my web that you didn't realize it's not something that you can do. The fuck? That's not on me. That's on you. And now you want to make it seem like it's everybody that can't do it. No, it's your ass, and you don't want to take that accountability. You feel me? Because you're not even supposed to be in the niche. You try to walk into a niche to see if you can fit in this motherfucker. It wasn't for you. But there's motherfuckers that's in the niche that do the shit, that do the niche shit. See what I'm saying? That's where that shit comes in. The idea and the reality is cool to speak about. People like the idea of me and not the reality of me. But how real is it when you have to realize that I just like the idea and I can't be the reality? That's a part of relationship niches, bro. It's the accountability piece you gotta have for yourself. You dig what I'm saying? It's not one-sided in this bitch. It's not just what that thing can do or what that person like. Nah, you feel me? Yeah, I trust me. I face the shit too. I face the shit too. It's like, yeah, women just like the idea of me and not the reality. But then I've been involved. I tried to shoot my shot at certain women. It's like, yo, I like the idea, but then I seen the reality. I said, oh, okay, let me scale back a little bit. Let me fall back or let me up my game. Let me up myself and make sure I'm supposed to be in this motherfucking niche. Let me see what the fuck this niche really has. You know? And you also have to realize that at some point you gotta be selfish. You feel me? I was gonna call this like the real shit that I was gonna call this was being on the right level. You feel me? But I use niche instead because when I use level and shit, motherfuckers act like you calling them, you saying, oh, you're beneath them or this, that, and the third. No. So I took a euphemism and I decided to use relationship niches because it's niches to the shit. I like that. It's niches to the shit. I think I'm gonna make that a motherfucking shirt. It's niches to the shit because it's real shit. You feel me? Because if I say levels, motherfuckers automatically put it in hierarchical perspectives and shit. It's like, oh, you think you better than somebody? No, I'm just not in the niche. I can't fuck with you. You can't fuck with me. I'm not supposed to be fucking with you, and you're not supposed to be fucking with me, and that's perfectly fine. You feel what I'm saying? Because now when you come into my niche, this is the shit. I play here. I play here. And in my playtime, when you come into this motherfucker, you feel like it's work. Oh, I'm just having fun. This is recreation. This is what I do. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So it's like this is one of the situations I'm looking at when people. I seen this. I got pulled into this conversation on Facebook a couple years ago, and it was like, do you think that people like? Do you think that spiritual people and religious people can date, or do you think that people with different religions can date? I said, hell no, fuck no. There's no. It was like, and would you date somebody that's religious? I said, fuck no. That shit makes no sense. Everybody was like, well, I think it could be done, but the same shit was always said. One lady in particular, she said, it can definitely be done, but at some point you're gonna accept. Then it can't be done, motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? There's no, you can't have that justification to the shit. And that was the shit that I was saying. I said, nah, it ain't gonna work. Like the way my beliefs and spirituality is set up, I can't fuck with a religious woman. You feel me? Motherfuckers be like, nah, you never know. It might be for you to teach. No, fuck that. If you're not in the niche, fuck it. I'm not doing that shit where I'm bringing you into the niche and getting you. Because now, if we don't work, because the idea was cool, you just happen to have a situation where you decide, okay, fuck it, I got to give up on X, Y, and Z. Now I want to find something else to replace this shit. You're gonna come into off of the reality. Let's say we rock. Let's say we kicking it. Let's say we talking about the shit. And now I'm talking with so much conviction in the shit that I'm saying, but now I'm showing you the research. I'm showing you the knowledge. I'm showing you the things that I put in because I'm in the fucking niche. And we don't work. Now you got to go back. You can't go back with your homies because now I've exposed you to too much. You've learned too much. You like, oh, what the fuck? And we can't go forward because this wasn't your niche. You was here trying to figure out if this was your niche. I'm here because this is my shit. You feel what I'm saying? So I can't cross that line. And I knowingly know that shit now. And I'm like, nah, you're not, oh, I'm woke now. And this, then the third. This is like, no, I'm not, I don't do this shit for the Instagram shit. Like, I stand on what I stand on. You feel what I'm saying? Like when I'm like, if I'm talking to my family, my aunties and shit, and they be like, this is just a phase. Auntie, this is not a phase. This is not a phase. This is a reality. It's not an idea. This isn't reality. I'm not upset. I'm not angry or anything. Like, I don't fuck with this shit anymore because I understand it differently. And I made the choice not to. You feel what I'm saying? So these perspectives are a part of what niche life is like. You feel me? Off of the other side of that, there are women who want to be entrepreneurs. They wanted to be entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur. It's different. You can have the idea of being an entrepreneur, but the reality is totally different. I gotta wake up early. I gotta stay on point. I gotta do these things. There's so much shit I gotta do. And you just want to be here because you don't want to work for nobody. No. That's some lazy shit. But that's not a part of the niche that I'm in. That's not a part of the niche that I'm in. You feel me? I know women who's like, I want to do X, Y, and Z just so I don't have to work. And I know women who's like, I'm gonna secure the bags. They're different. They're different. And they have the same idea that the idea is the same about entrepreneurship, but there's different realities. You gotta go into your niche and figure out what your reality is. You feel me? Can you even be in that point? So this is what I'm talking about with love languages, because now the love languages ties it all in. Because within your niche, once you break down and you get your full relationship niche, you know this is the type of motherfucker that I like. I like this, I like that, I like this. You feel me? What's your love language? And now you got to find a motherfucker who can exhibit that, who can respect your love language. You got to really know your love language, not just what you know the things, because a lot of times we blur the lines between our love being what our love language is and the things that we were denied as kids that we really want. You dig what I'm saying? The two can be very, very synonymous and shit a lot of times, but that's what we get wrapped up in. But you got to know your love language, and then your relationship niche is going to be found in all of that shit. You dig what I'm saying? It's going to be tied into every bit of that shit. It's going to be like, okay, bam, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. These are things that you have to do within your niche to stay there, to be there. You know, I changed my niche so many motherfucking times over the years, but I realized that there's certain things that I got to have. You feel what I'm saying? In that niche to actually be somebody who's a part of the niche. You feel what I'm saying? When I was a hood dude back in my teenage years and shit, that was the niche that I was in. And I knew how to deal with the women that like that niche. You feel what I'm saying? When I became the college kid, I put the shit away and started, I became that was a different niche, a different dynamic. You feel what I'm saying? Became the heavily religious person, that was a different niche. Became the woke motherfucker, that's a different niche. Started liking cougars, that's a whole different fucking niche. It's all different shit. But you gotta make sure that it's not just the idea, it's the reality. I use the cougars for example. You feel what I'm saying? I love older women. But see, a lot of people like the idea, oh, she gonna have good sex and everything. Okay, maybe she's experienced, she this. That's not why I like cougars. I like cougars because my soul is old. Because I'm a very mature person for my age. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm far ahead of a lot of motherfuckers in my pocket. There's people that I'm older than that I'm still far ahead of. So when I was like, I'm liking cougars and shit, it wasn't just for fucking them. I like literally having like I can have hour-long conversation with women who are 10, 20, 30 years older than me. It don't make a difference. It don't make a difference. Like we can literally call each other and talk for 3 hours. Now I don't know basic bullshit either. Like real conversation. You feel me? Because for me it wasn't the idea of cougar chasing. It was the actual reality of cougar chasing. I needed that stimulation. I needed that. One of my one of my older women friends, I don't want to call her a cougar and seem like we were fucking or anything like that, but one of my older cougar friends, she said, you need that stimulation. She said, and she said it's gonna put you in a battle. She said, because when you want to have kids, you got to figure out what you're gonna do. She was like, because a lot of the older women, they're gonna be past. Like she said, the women that are actually in your speed, they're past the age. So it's like you gotta figure out something. I'm like, damn, you're right. You feel me? But that's why I fuck with cougars. You feel me? They don't just it ain't just like I know I make the jokes and shit about them, the neck bones and all the shit playing like those are the jokes. But I really fuck with that niche because I like to learn from them. I like to learn from women as a whole, but I like to learn from them because they have a different experience that I don't have because they're older than me. They've been here before. You feel what I'm saying? Been here longer than me. But I have the maturity to be sustained by that. You feel me? I have the position to be sustained by that. So you got to understand your niche, not just for the excitement. I'm not in it. I didn't talk to cougars just to have sex with them. It's because I can keep up with you. I like having conversations. Like it blows my mind how I can have conversation with women who are 10, 15 years older than me that men their age can't have. You dig what I'm saying? It don't blow my mind, but because I know what it is. I think like when I was like 26, I was dealing with a woman who's 34, 35. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but we were on par with each other. So that was the niche that I was able to be in from the reality perspective, not just the idea, you know. And I had to learn that shit, like with a relationship niche. Like now, my niche has shifted now. I'm able to, be back on, what I mean? I left the Cougars alone, man. I left y'all alone. I said I can't do y'all anymore. Like, because now I'm now getting like that is a part of the single version. Because at another point too, a lot of the women who are older than me, they didn't want a relationship. Now, I don't know, it was something wrong with me, but that worked for me. I'm like, okay, I can have my single version. They want to talk, have fun, we do whatever we do. And they didn't want the relationship. They're like, you're still too young to have a solid relationship with. And I said, yes, you are too old for me to have a solid relationship with, but everything else fucking works because the niche was there. You feel what I'm saying? So the single version was there. So like now that things are changing for me, it's like, yo, I'm not in that pocket anymore. But now I'm looking at how the niche is changing and how the niche needs to be done. Like your niche, you have to be in it for the reality. You dig what I'm saying? Not the idea. A lot of us are just in the shit for the reality. I mean, for the idea. Oh, they woke. They this. They that. You feel me? Now we're at a position where it's like, okay, this person studies astrology and shit. Okay, cool. Do you know it or do you just like to believe in the shit? You dig? Because that's really what a lot of motherfuckers is doing, making it a new belief system. Again, they like the idea of astrology. Oh my gosh, you're an Aries. Feel me? Shit pisses me the fuck off. Everybody talking about, oh, you an Aries. Y'all know how y'all get. Y'all can talk that bullshit, but I'm not the Aries. I'm not the commercial Aries. You feel what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers talk that shit. Oh, y'all stubborn. Y'all no, it's not that I'm stubborn. It's like I understand the Aries, the Aryan energy. Because now we got to look at how come you're entering my space because I'm an Aries, but you don't want to initiate shit. You don't want to get shit popping. That's what it is. When I look at people who enter my space and they tell me they got a project that they're having a difficulty launching or getting with, I figure out why the fuck they in my space. You feel me? But they be acting like, oh, Aries, y'all are so hard. No, we're initiators. And when you come into our shit, you're stagnant. When you come into a space of an Aries, you're likely to be stagnant. Spark the fire and get the fuck moving. You feel what I'm saying? But again, that comes with actually being in the niche rather than the reality of what the niche is giving, as opposed to just wanting to be in the shit. Oh, what's your natal chart? You're Aries. Okay, I'm dominant sign Capricorn. Motherfuckers can't even tell. You feel me? Motherfuckers like, I have to tell you that I'm Aries for you to, oh, you're so structured, you're so disciplined. Yeah, I'm dominant sign Capricorn. It's in my first house. Oh, wait, what's the first house? What does that mean? Whoa, wait. So you're in the niche for astrology and you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about right now? Because it's the idea. Sounds good to get somebody's natal chart and run a synastry and shit, but then when you don't know what the fuck each individual house is doing, what the planets are doing, what the transits, the quincunx and the trines and the sextiles, you don't know all of the shit, but yet you're saying that this is your shit. Fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out of here, sis. It's the idea of that shit because it sounds good. Motherfuckers, I want me a brujo. I want me like you gotta be careful with that shit, bro. You feel me? You gotta be careful with that shit and start protecting yourself because people we're getting into relationships and shit off of some bullshit. Shit that is irrelevant. You feel me? And shit that you're not even a part of. Relationship niches are important. This is why it's important to date people who like you. Only people in your niche is gonna like you. Sorry. Like that's the truth, folk. Like the people in your niche are who's gonna like you and like you back. You feel what I'm saying? But see, you're not even when you're. This is something that I learned and something that I really observed. When you're in the niche actively and people are coming into the niche and they're trying to find themselves in the niche and see if it's for them, they will come to you and they will like you. But they will demand that you like them how they like you without doing anything to make you like them back. You dig what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be like, I've been trying to talk to you for a minute and blah, 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 and I like it because you haven't made me like you back. I can't help that. Whatever I've done in this world, whatever I present to myself, whatever I show, which is my single version, that makes you fall for it, you have not done the same shit for me. How am I wrong for that? You feel me? A lot of motherfuckers be thinking they get ghosted or they get curved, but no, you just did not make me like you back. And then you got your little feelings, you got your little tantrum, and you're like, well, if you can't hit me back, then I'm just gonna let it die down. And see if I'm gonna see if the motherfucker, if I don't, they'll say shit like this. If I don't, I'm not gonna respond to see if they respond. I don't like you yet, so why would I? Really think about that shit. Sit with that motherfucker for a second. You feel me? Just for a second. I have not done anything to make you like me back. And yet I'm going to get upset that I don't have your attention. That's what the selfish shit is about. Men and women alike. You feel me? Oh, I shot my shot and she left me on red, or she left me on scene. I shot my shot and he left me on red. He left me on scene. You know what? I'm just not going to respond to him. You feel me? I'm just not going to respond. And I'm going to see if he remembers and he wants to hit me up. Yo, I ain't going to respond to him. I'm going to see if she be like, yo, you got to make sure that this motherfucker's like, they like you back. Are you even in their niche? Are you in the niche for what they're looking for? That's the problem with y'all motherfuckers. Y'all see a motherfucker post some shit and, you know, I'm going to shoot my shot. This person's cute. This person's pretty, or whatever the case may be. This person handsome. This person beautiful. I feel like, you know, they're a god. They're a goddess. They're king. They're queen. All of that bullshit. But do they like you back? Are you in a position to be what they need to make them like you back? You dig what I'm saying? You didn't get curved. You dig what I'm saying? You didn't get ghosted. You were not interesting enough to make them like you back. Accountability needs to be at hand. Now, granted, in your previous niches, you're so used to motherfuckers that's coming on to you like, okay, deal with this. And you know what I'm saying? Oh, now this person is all upon me. Okay, cool. That shit, it spoils you. It spoils you. So now you have to make a motherfucker like you back. A lot of y'all don't even know how to make a motherfucker like you back because you're so used to the motherfuckers already liking you from the jump. You dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna put that on myself for a second. I had that a lot. You feel what I'm saying? And it goes back into when I was a kid. You feel what I'm saying? It goes back into when I was a baby. Like when I was a kid, you feel me? Go to church, everything. Ooh, can they hoo Riri? Can they hoo? I've been around women all my life. Women have always given me attention. I'd be oblivious to shit. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, women tell me, I was shooting my shot at you. I'm oblivious to shit. Now I don't know arrogant shit. This is, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, that's what women do to me. It's not. It's I can't feed off of it. What I do acknowledge is the women that make me like them back. You feel me? I can get the flattery all day long. Oh, I love your eyelashes. I love your lips. You know, I've been hearing this shit since I could hear and actually internalize that I'm hearing shit. You feel me? Go to church, passed around, and I don't know, no fucked up shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Bounce around women. Ooh, here's my little man. He's this and third. Like, I've always got that shit. Didn't change as I went through any level of life. Elementary school, middle school, high school. It didn't change. It was like, okay, this is what you now. This is how I'm able to understand. You gotta make me like you back. That shit's not enough. Flattery don't do shit for me. There's motherfuckers out there who flattery does not work for. You have to make them like you back. And then that's when y'all realize y'all ain't supposed to be in the niche. That's when y'all realize y'all ain't supposed to be fucking with the motherfucker. Or that's when you get your ego involved and your arrogance and you're like, you know what? I like you. Why don't you like me back? You didn't give me anything to like back. You're assuming that because you like me, I'm supposed to like you, and that's not the case. There's motherfuckers right now who get all of this attention. Now, the social media shit, a lot of motherfuckers get so used to, you know, here's something that I'm going to say. I had a conversation with a brother. You know, we both, I get, his social media following, his social media platforms is a little bit larger than mine, but we was able to converse and everything like that. He was telling me about, you know, I'm not going to say I was jealous or anything like that, but he was saying, yeah, man, I be making posts and, you know, I just get some random nudes, some titties or some shit. I'm like, I don't get that shit in my fucking DMs, bro. And he like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, they don't send me nudes, bro. But what they do send me is, what are your thoughts on this? I want to know what you think about this. Can I have your opinion on this? You feel what I'm saying? Can I know what this is? And it's like, it's different. It showed me that it was different. It's like, yo, That's a different niche. You feel me? And those women, I started to see, okay, that's the shit that I fuck with. You feel me? That's the shit that I fuck with. Now, granted, this is what I was saying. It's like it's not a jealousy thing. It was a point. I was like, I don't get that shit. But I've also put myself in a position to where women know how to come to me. You feel me? I'm not saying he set himself up to get thirst trapped or anything like that. Like they send him the shit like that. I don't know his full dynamic, but I know from my perspective, I never displayed myself in a situation where they think sending me shit about sex is cool. You feel what I'm saying? And I realized that, and this is how I'm applying this to this whole thing. I realized that in those same token, I have set the standard for women to come to me correctly. I have set the standard for them to approach me according to my niche, the niche that I'm in. And they realize whether or not they're in the motherfucker or not. And I started to pay attention, like they'll send me something like, yo, what are your thoughts on this? And I will pay attention to how they engage with me. If we're able to go back and forth for a decent amount of time, it's just like, but once I get the, oh, that's what's up. How you gonna ask me what my thoughts are? You don't have any thoughts behind what you asked me about. And then it'll be, yo, we haven't talked in so long and this and that, you didn't give me shit to talk about. You did not make me like you back. Now, don't get me wrong. Understand that I go through this shit too, because that's the double-edged sword between the shit. Always getting attention, always getting that shit. And it's like, yo, this has been the way women respond. Now, when I speak to the women that I was like, damn, I got to fucking work. And that's who I'm looking for. Those are the women that I'm working for. It's like, yo, I really got to talk to you. I can't just, hey, big head you. You feel what I'm saying? There's depths and there's levels to the shit. And it's like, that is one of the hardest parts. I ain't gonna say the hardest part, and I'm not speaking just for me, but that is one of the reasons why we don't do that shit. This is why we in relation we don't pick the right relationship niche, because we focus on attention. We focus on who's gonna continually show me attention, not who's gonna respect us. That's why I was mentioning that. The attention and respect. Attention goes with the single version. Respect goes with the relationship version. You feel what I'm saying? There's different dynamics of the different types of people that you have to involve yourself with. And then you have to know your niche to be able to do that shit. You dig what I'm saying? A lot of us, we don't know our niche. And now we have locked into a niche. We have locked into a certain relationship and situation. Now it's like, this person doesn't do anything for me. You feel what I'm saying? If you understand your relationship niche, you can understand what position this person falls into a relationship for. You ain't gotta fuck everybody. Everything ain't a romantic relationship. Some motherfuckers feel like that because I'm attracted to you this particular way. No, you're not. I'm not romantically attracted to you. This is a platonic thing. It ain't my fault you crossed the line. I didn't make you do it. I didn't make you do it. You haven't even done anything for me to see you romantically, but you see me romantically. I don't have control over that. Because I might barely only see you platonically, but that shows the different disconnects in the niches. If you're comfortable in the niche, things are going to be different. One of the pieces that really put this into perspective for me was when I was dealing with this woman who, she was telling me about her past. She was like, all of her men, it's been a couple of women, because a lot of women do this shit, because it's like when you're the top tier in your niche and shit. That's why I did the episode on, big fish in the small ponds and all of this shit. Like when you're the top tier of the shit, it seems like you're the Don Dada until you got to go to the next level. You dig what I'm saying? So we're having this conversation, several women, I've had conversations like, yeah, the men in my past, they always come back. They always tell me, oh, they can't find another woman like me, or, what I'm saying, I'm the best they ever had. And, it's different dynamics and different connections and different things that they constantly say that the men of their past do. And they come with that mentality when they meet me. And I tell them, I'm like, I don't go back, because the women in my space are the women in my space. There's no level. Like I'm at a certain, like my niche. This is the type of involvement that I have. You dig what I'm saying? So it's like my exes in the conversation, I'm like, yo, my exes don't come back. You feel me? Because we end right. We don't end on bad terms. We know, okay, this is what it is, but it's like there's a level to the shit. So I'm like, you're beneath. And I'm like, so your expression is that you're beneath the men that you know, of your past were technically beneath you if they can't replace you, if they can't find somebody to fill what you gave them. I said all of the women that in my space are equals. They're equals. You feel what I'm saying? That's what niche shit is like. That's what a niche relationship is like. That's what the connection is like. That is your equal. Like mind, like soul, like body. You feel what I'm saying? When you're not in a position where you're fully engaged in the full dynamic of a person, you're going to get to those levels and you're going to have levels in the shit where it's like, I'm better than this person. I'm this. I need somebody who's on my level. You don't need somebody who's on your level. You need somebody who's in your niche. Because if you find somebody in your niche, you see how far out of the level you really are sometimes. You know, because in dealing with those women who will say, yeah, the men always end up coming back. Now they see I have not popped back up in their picture. Retrograde didn't bring you back. Retrograde doesn't make you say anything like we haven't talked in a long time. What's going on? Like, oh, you're used to those dudes coming back. You can be replaced when you're in my niche. You feel me? You may believe that we at different levels, but we're in, like, my niche is I run this shit. This is the shit that I actually run around and I play in this motherfucker. This is really my niche. I really do this shit. You dig what I'm saying? So if you don't work, trust me, another woman can, because y'all are my equals, and vice versa. My brothers, we on the same page. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the shit that we gotta take in with our sisters and shit. Sometimes we be like, are we even in the same niche? You might not be in her niche, and that's why you can't connect with her. That's why shooting your shot don't work. That ain't your niche, bro. I don't know what to say to her, man. I don't know how to talk to her. I don't know how to this. Just talk. When y'all in the same niche, it flows, bro. It's organic. You don't have to do anything really. You don't even like it. Ain't no, hey, big head, hey, how you doing? You don't have to flirt. You just have to initiate the right conversation and let that shit flow because y'all are in the same niche. But you got to know your niche and you got to make sure that you're in the reality for your niche and not just the idea of this motherfucker. That's what's busting everybody's ass right now. We are marrying people who, because it's like we got to go back to our childhoods. A lot of us were not taught to know. A lot of us had to figure, like, a lot of us figured out who the fuck we were in our 20s, late 20s, early 30s. You get what I'm saying? We don't know our niche. We didn't know our soul tribe. You feel me? And us as men, our shit is very, very shallow. My niche was a bad bitch. Like I always tell this story. One of my favorite songs was Bad Problems. ASAP Rocky and them. I love bad bitches. That was a problem. That shit was a motherfucking anthem for me. That's all you had to be was a bad bitch. That's shallow as fuck. That's like what niche is that? That's an all encompassing niche. As I started to become more fine tuned, I promise you, the type of women that I now that come into my space now that are just like that, it's like because of my niche is fine tuning. It's fine tuning, and as I'm seeing, I can start to observe that their niche is fine tuning. I always say this shit like, thanks. I'm gonna give thanks to the woman who's manifesting me right now. Because the person that she has in, like, the shit that you sent out to the motherfucking universe, God, Allah, Jehovah, Yeshua, Krishna, Buddha, all of them, whoever, whatever you sent out to these motherfuckers and shit, and it reverberated back to me, it's made me a phenomenal being. And I know too that whatever I sent out, because I already know what I sent out, when you come back to me, we gonna be a problem, but we're gonna be in the same niche. We're gonna be in the reality of the niche. We're gonna be each other's types, but we're also gonna be attracted to it. We're gonna be able to speak the same love language, and if we don't speak the same love language, we can understand each other's love language. We're actually gonna like each other. You feel what I'm saying? We're not gonna be opposites. All of these things and all of these dynamics have to play into the reality. You feel what I'm saying? All of these things have to play into reality. And it's not easy. It's not an easy thing. It's not something that has to be easily done. You know? But it comes with evolving. It comes with transforming. It comes with growth and understanding. And you need to know what your relationship niche is. Forget, I want a high value man. That shit is fucking funny. He be killing them on that shit. But anyway, like I want a high value man, high value woman. Fuck that. Fuck the like you'll find a like value is relative and value is dependent on your perception of reality. And you want a high value motherfucker from the over six figures, like you know what I'm saying? Like on paper, I know that that the average person believes that they're above average. And even still they want outside of that. No, you can't get out. Like we put this external shit up so much. Give me the motherfucker who could do this, that, and the third. No. Go find your niche. You feel me? Go find your niche. When you find your niche, you will find your equal. And y'all can create high value shit at will. You feel me? It's not about finding somebody who's already in a position that's 2 steps ahead of you. Find your motherfucking niche and y'all walk together and get 2 steps ahead together. That's what the fuck it means to be in a part of your niche. Find your relationship niche. What the fuck is your relationship niche? Are you around the right motherfuckers? Are you in the right space? Are you a Christian trying to be in some bruja shit? You feel me? Do you fuck with hoodoo for real? Or are you trying to, you know what I'm saying, just get back at some shit? You feel me? You a bruja? You really spiritual and you really on some astrological shit? You feel me? Are you really an entrepreneur or you an entrepreneur? Like, are you really in the niche and you living the reality of what this niche needs for you to stay in it? You dig what I'm saying? Because anybody can be the big fish in a small pond, but when it's time to be the orca in a motherfucking whale, you got to know how to do that shit. I mean, the orca in the ocean, you got to know how to do that shit. You feel me? You got to know how to stay there. Yeah, Shamu sits and crazy. Man, I do want to be in the ocean. But bitch, when you get in the motherfucking ocean, you don't know how to hunt. You don't know how to feed yourself. You don't know how to bang with the motherfuckers. You're going to get beat up by a motherfucking great white shark, and orcas beat up sharks. You know why? Because it's not your niche. You want the shit. You want the idea. You feel me? But can you sustain the shit? You feel me? Because then you're able to be in a position where you can make a motherfucker like you back. We're in the same niche. You like what I like. It's easy to make you like me back. But I don't even know shit about the niche. I'm just here because I fucks with you and you're cute and you're handsome or whatever the case may be, and you in that space, and I want to get your attention. I don't want to make you like me back. I want your attention. I want to feed off your attention. I don't want to have anything interesting. I don't want to have anything about myself that can do anything better to improve your life or for me to be an asset in your life. I just want your attention. And motherfuckers wonder why they got motherfuckers fucked up.
The best way to fit in is to stand out. Just be sure to make a bold statement every time you do. Stand out with your exclusive statement makers from C Truth Clothing today. Visit IamJustSeen.com to get yours right now. We show up, we show out, we dip. You know how it goes. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom.
All right. I'm going to end it there. I think this was a very, very good episode. I think I love the way this flowed. This was some grown adult talk and shit right here. Relationship niches. Niche. I'm putting my radio voice on right now as I draw into the close. Nah, I ain't gonna fuck with y'all, man. But like, you feel me? This is what's important. Niches are really true to understand as far as the relationship. Like, it's niches to the shit. Like, I'm telling you, I'm gonna coin that shit. I'm about to make a shirt out of that bitch, yo. Let me write that shit down right now. It's niches to the shit. Fuck levels. It's niches to the shit. And it's like you see, like, you got to know your soul tribe. You got to know all of these different things to start to find your niche. You can't be out here trying to make lifelong commitments if you're only confined to the idea of your niche. You feel me? That's counterproductive. That's going to be a waste of your motherfucking time. You feel what I'm saying? And if you're not, successful in knowing what the fuck you're going for, you're going to lose reality. You're going to get lost in the sauce, baby. You'll get lost in the sauce, broski. You feel me? You got to know your niche. And You have to know yourself to be able to know that you can be comfortable in that niche. You feel what I'm saying? I see so many situations like I've involved myself with women who literally couldn't be in my space. And they will be, oh, what you trying to say? I'm not good enough for you? No, I'm not saying that at all. And now I'm able to confidently have a conversation with somebody without having to feel like I'm demeaning them by saying, I don't feel like, you're good enough or you can keep over there. Cause it's like, yo, we're not in the same niche. That is a beautiful way to say it to a motherfucker now. It's like, nah, we're just not in the same niche. And it's cool. Our niches don't merge. But I want to do, yes, you want to do what I am doing. It's different. It's different. And it's okay. That's just not your niche. You feel me? Well, but I know, no, I can be your teacher, but I can't blur these lines. Teachers should never fuck students and healers should never fuck their patients. Always remember that shit. This is where a lot of y'all motherfuckers get fucked up too when it comes into the shit. Y'all be out here knowing that you're supposed to be a teacher and a guide to this motherfucker, and you fucking them and you fucking up the game. Knowing that you're just supposed to be a healer to spark the healing and they're your patient and you fucking up the game. I know because I used to fuck up the game. I ain't even gonna hold you. I used to fuck up the game. And I didn't know because I'm like, oh, I'm attracted to her. You feel me? That was the test. I kept failing the shit. But that was the test. It was like, yo, this is how you can break down the wall to be able to teach this person or to be able to spark the healing within this person, but don't blur the lines. I know this shit now. That's why I'm able to say it. You feel me? You come into my niche and you feel me? You're not able to participate in a niche on your own. Mm-mm. You have an inferiority complex. You feel like you doubt yourself. No, you don't belong here. And that's fine. That's fine. And that comes out better than saying, yo, you're not on my level. Or, nah, you're not good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, no, you're not in my niche. That's perfectly cool. Now you have to go find somebody in the niche that you are. Now, if you don't want to be in your niche anymore, the old one that you came from, and now you want to move to another, cool, gravitate towards that. But now you have to deal with people in that niche, within a sub niche, who are able to be on the same page as you're on. You feel what I'm saying? I like to use the woke metaphor, and you know what I'm saying, because it's like I didn't get my knowledge from memes. So that's not the niche that I'm in. Don't come in here thinking you're gonna talk knowledge the shit with me. I study. I'm in a different niche. My shit don't come from memes. I don't get my shit from shit that like I seen this like this been retweeted and reposted several times. No, my shit don't come from that. My shit come from certain books. Now it's like, when I talk, yo, what books are you reading? Because I want to see. I said in the book, yo, that shit was too complicated to read. It was long. I just couldn't get into it. Exactly. You're not in my fucking niche. Stay where the fuck you are. Get your shit off of memes. I'm not mad at you. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the life is like. The niche, you have to know which niche you're in. Which relationship niche are you really in right now? Be honest with yourself. You feel me? That's what's going to help secure your relationships and make your relationship stronger. Oh, I just want to be here. You feel me? I've had several women say, I want to be with an entrepreneur, but I want him to be a couple steps ahead. No, you're going to get left behind because he's not going to fuck with you at some point because you have to catch up. And if you have to catch up, guess who's already in the niche with him? Women that are already the 2-3 steps ahead. You feel me? My bros. Guess who's already with her in that niche? The motherfuckers that are already 2-3 steps ahead. And you want her to be ahead of you so he gives you some motivation to keep going. You want him to be ahead of you to give you motivation to keep going. There's people that he doesn't need to motivate because they're already in his niche and already where he is. There's people that are already where she is that are in the niche. But it's cool. Stay in your niche. Don't overinflate yourself. You feel what I'm saying? If you're religious, stay religious. Don't try to get into a relationship with a motherfucker who's not. Thinking that you know what I'm saying? I had a religious side. This shit broke me. It broke my heart to know this because it was a very fucked up situation, but it showed me how weak her mind was. This woman, she was very religious. You feel me? Y'all know how I stand or whatever the case may be. And we're having this conversation. And it broke my heart because she said, if we had kids, I would want them to follow your philosophies. I was like, why? She said, because you know more about yours than I know about mine. So I would want them to follow the more knowledgeable one. So it hit me. I was like, you follow something you know nothing about, and you're just going to automatically give it to me to do. You're not even going to try to research, try to learn these things yourself to see why I stand where I stand. Just automatically go with where I am. I said, that can't be the mother of my child. It just can't. It just can't. Because that's not my niche. That's not my niche. You feel what I'm saying? But then it eventually got a little worse than that, a little bit crazier, because then she was like, the way that I felt about God is how I feel about you. What? I was like, wait, what you said? You said what? She's like, I used to get this kind of warm, tingly feeling when I thought about God. Now I get that when I feel about you. I said, nah, bro, we gotta dead this shit. Like, that's not. I am not your God. I said, don't you dare say no shit like that. No, she said, no, I'm not saying that you're my God. I'm saying that the connection that I had with God when I used to pray and stuff like that, when I think about you, I said, look, yo, you can euphemize, yo, you're not calling me your God. I said, I can't go forward with that. But that comes from being involved in a niche that you are pretty much mastering and have mastered, and somebody's just coming into the motherfucker. They're not supposed to be there. And you're not supposed to cross the line with them. You feel what I'm saying? You're not supposed. She was supposed to stay in a niche where, okay, this is not what you do. You feel me? It was too much for her. You feel what I'm saying? So you also have to notice that shit too. If somebody's not supposed to be in your niche, let them know. Let them know. And you also have to know, I ain't supposed to be in this niche. When shit like that starts happening, when your extremes, the things that you hold near and dear to you, start changing rapidly and you can't control it, that's not your niche. If you can keep pace and that's what you're supposed to be to learn and grow, cool. You dig what I'm saying? Like, and certain people, when you're in certain niches, it's like certain people will try to get you to see there's like, case in point, I just made a post the other day. I think, yeah, it was the other day, and I was talking about there was a conversation between, it was like one of those memes where the motherfucker said, he was like, did you eat today? And Shorty responded, no, I'm hungry. And dude said, dang, you ain't eat today? And she walked off. From my perspective, two adults, you ain't ate all fucking day? That's your goofy ass fault. I'm not gonna go feed you because you starved all day. You had this. So one sister, no shade, no harm, no foul. She responds, well, I had a fridge full of food. You know, I have my own means to feed myself. And she said, no, she said, when I'm working and I'm grinding all day, sometimes I don't eat. And I can have a fridge full of food. You feel what I'm saying? I can have the money to feed myself. But the fact that you asked and you didn't take me, goodbye. I just responded with, okay. My niche doesn't, like the niche that I fuck with, they not even on that type time. Your niche is on that type time. That's cool. That's cool. Have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at. You feel me? I don't trip on that shit. And I started to learn that shit and started to see a lot of the ways that we respond to people, they're not in your niche. I don't try to look at it as like, yo, you're not on my level to understand what I'm saying. You're just not in my niche to get it. This is what we talk about in my niche. You know what I mean? You feel what I'm saying? Not only just from an actual relationship perspective, I mean, all relationship, platonic, intimate, romantic, all of those. I have a niche of people that I talk about certain shit with. And I have a niche for the level of understanding people can get. If y'all are listening to this and y'all get everything that I be talking about, y'all are in the niche to get the shit. So now check this out. You'll share my shit with somebody, or you tell them to check this out, and they be like, huh? I don't get it. They're not in the niche, y'all. Now, this isn't to say you don't go share it, because, you know, keep the spins up. We're going to keep the shit popping. But at the same time, you got to keep that in mind. We're all in a different niche, circling in different niche webs at a particular time. What one person can get, another person won't be able to comprehend, and that's okay. Just different niches. You feel what I'm saying? Now, when we look at relationships, consider that all day long. What your niche is. Do you really like your niche? You feel me? But all of this still comes into first. You have to be able to love and be connected with yourself. If you believe that somebody that's just like you is going to be boring, you're going to suck finding a niche. And every niche you get in is going to beat your ass. You're not going to find anybody. You got to start with self. Love yourself and then start to gravitate towards the things that you love. It's simple. Then you'll be able to find an individual person who's in your niche. And then you'll be able to find your soul tribe who's in your niche. And then you'll be able to see, oh, this is my niche. This is what we do. Not what I want. I'm not trying to figure myself out in this. This is something that I really fuck with. So this is my niche. And then you'll be able to build a relationship off of somebody like that. Why? Because within the niche, you guys will be like mind, like soul, and like body. It's very, very simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. So with that, I'm going to leave it there. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, _just_sing_. Be sure to check out my website at IamJustSing.com. Make sure you kiss your babies. Make sure you kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And teach them early what a relationship niche is. I think that's something we can teach our kids early. You know, it keeps away from the narcissism of where you're like, oh, you here and you don't mess with nobody below here. No, mess with your niche, the things that you like. Now this gives you this actually gives you a opportunity to find out what your children like. To sit with them and say, hey, yo, what do you like? Because now you can say, okay, look, play with this person. Not necessarily play with that person, but look, gravitate towards people who like this too. Gravitate towards people who like this and create your niche. Don't let your niche create you. You feel what I'm saying? And then when you find that, you start to gravitate towards the people. Teach that shit to the babies, yo. Their relationships should be able to work for that. You feel what I'm saying? Teach them early how to identify a niche, how to spot a relationship niche, platonic, intimate, romantic, and learn how to get into them. And learn how to find themselves, but more importantly, learn how to have a solid relationship with themselves to where they're comfortable enough to go have a reality in a niche and not just want the idea of it. You feel what I'm saying? Because once they have the reality in the niche, they can start to gravitate towards the right things. And then they can have relationships that are healthy, that are fruitful, that are beneficial, that are going to give them shit. You feel what I'm saying? Since finding my niche and shit, like opportunities have just been what they're supposed to be. It's organic. Like I can do speaking events, I can do different things. Now I can be myself because my niche knows what the fuck I am. And I know what the fuck my niche is, and it all works. You dig what I'm saying? But make sure the babies know this shit early. Start teaching them early that, there's a relationship. It's niches to the shit. It's niches to the shit. But yeah, make sure you kiss your babies. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'm going to see y'all all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.